Welcome to Neo Royal, House of Pricey Cardboard. On today's episode of Commander Gameplay, we are joined by three regulars. We have Fitz from the Arena of the Ancients, Coach Jiro, aka the Unsummonedskull, and Scoopphase, the Birdman. You can find Fitz streaming EDH on Sundays, Jiro streaming EDH and D&D throughout the week, as well as writing articles for EDH Rec. As for Scoop, you can find him mostly on Twitter and guesting on a lot of different shows. Empowered by the new Kamigawa set, Fitz has rebuilt his Jeskai vehicle deck led by Kykar, Wind's Fury. Sharing some similarities with my Decklists, the endgame plan is more focused on combat damage with different vehicles as well as the anthems. Jiro is playing Yidris, Maelstrom Wielder. This is somewhat of a Cascade deck with a very specific goal in mind, playing Hypergenesis and get some of the wildest commander game you could get. The deck's mana curve is starting at 3, so anything cascading for 2 and less will hit the Hypergenesis, unleashing everyone. As for Scoop, he is playing Go-Shintai of Life Origin, the Shrine Commander wearing the amazing Graveyards Gang Mythic frames. Scoop described this deck as shrines and reserve list cards, looking to amass a critical amount of shrines and take over the table. For myself, I am playing Shadrix Silverquill. This is a Hatebear, Voltron, and keyword soup deck, trying to find a good balance of Hatebears to slow down the table while I can take out my opponents with powerful equipments or Odric shenanigans. This episode, as all of our content, is brought to you by our generous patrons. If you want to support us directly, this is the best way to do it. You get access to videos early, and we currently have 5 exclusive bonus gameplays with more to come if we get new patrons. Fitz gets to start this off. Alan drops a Glacial Fortress. Jiro land drops a Bloodfell Caves, gaining a life. I land drop a tapped Godless Shrine, while Scoop land drops a Rogrin Triome. Fitz land drops a Sacred Foundry untap. He then casts a Talisman of Progress. Jiro land drops a Temple of Deceit, scrying 1. I land drop an Isolated Chapel and cast a Pure Steel Paladin. Scoop land drops a Tropical Highland. He then casts Luminarch Ascension. Fitz land drops a Fiery Islet, using it to cast his commander, Kykar, Wind's Fury.
You know him, Birdman. Kykar.
Kykar, huh?
Kykar.
You know it. Kykar.
Kykar, yeah.
Oh, Kykar. Birdman.
Birdman.
At the end step, Scoop gets his first quest counter. Jiro land drops a Myriad Landscape, and at the end step, Scoop gets his second quest counter. I cast Swiftfoot Boots, drawing a card and sadly not finding a land. I go to combat and send Pure Steel Paladin to Scoop. Scoop land drops a Swamp. He casts Sanctum Weaver and pass.
She took so much time building this deck, so she's like, I want to see if it works.
Yeah. I need to really get in there and look at it. Just like, I need to get right in there and look at it.
Fitz casts Izzet Signet. He then casts Expressive Iteration. He puts 1 card to hand and Arcane Signet into exile, casting the Arcane Signet by sacrificing spirits for red mana. For his combat step, Kykar attacks Scoop.
You guys want the shenanigans now, or do you want me to wait for a little bit and let you stroke your hands?
I don't know, you do you, man.
Yeah, for real. Shenanigans are always good. I would always vote for shenanigans over anything else.
Jiro casts Demonic Dread. There's only 1 card this can cascade into, and it's Hypergenesis. Starting with Jiro, each player puts an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land card from their hand into the battlefield. We repeat this process until no one puts a card on the battlefield. We get Pelaka Worm, Blackblade Reforge, Undead of Cleansing Fire, Teferi's Ageless Insight, Inferno Titan, Haunted Cloak, a Forest, Mech Titan Core, Talisman of Hierarchy,
Omniscience.
No.
I have only 2 cards left in my hand. I only have 2 cards in my hand left.
Shorikai Genesis Engine,
Have a Bolas Citadel.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, Eddie gets to go next too. What a blowout. Alright, that's fine.
Fiery Emancipation, Blight Beetle, and finally, Aradara Express. Once Hypergenesis is done resolving, we get the ETBs. I get 2 cards and Jiro deals 3 damage to me, while he gains 7 life. I then untap into a very different board state.
That was super spicy. I was not ready for omniscience and bolt was fucking spit it out. I was like, okay, cool. I got a bunch of cards I'll put out. This will be sweet. I was like, okay.
I'll end up Ash Barrens from the top of my deck and get another land on top. I put all my equipments on the Paladin for free. Heading into combat, the Pure Steel goes to Scoop again. In second main, I cast Iliad's Intervention on Omniscience and Fiery Emancipation. Scoop gains 2 life at the upkeep.
Draw.
Value.
Yeah. Somebody called Josh Lee quiet because there's too much value.
He casts Nature's Lore, getting a Temple Garden untapped. He then casts Grim Guardian. Using the Sanctum Weaver, Scoop then casts Windfall. We each draw 5 except Fitz, who draws 10. Before we go to his turn, Fitz activates Shorekai, drawing 2, discarding 1, and creating a pilot.
And then Shorekai also live bursts a pilot, which is fucking gross, but there it is. Boom. Fresh out of the Shorekai womb.
On his turn, Fitz casts Talisman of Creativity. He casts Sword to Plowshare on the Inferno Titan. He then casts Jorkadine, the Prevailer. With a lot more crewing power, Fitz is able to animate Shorekai and the train. He goes to combat, sending Shorekai to me, the Aerodera Express to Jiro, and Kykar to Scoop. Jiro lands up a Dismal Backwater, gaining a life. He heads into combat, sending the Worm to Fitz. In second main, he cracks the Myriad for 2 basics and pass. On my turn, using Bolas Citadel, I cast Withering Wisps for 3 life. I cast Shadow Spear for a life, and land up a Snow-Covered Swamp from my hand. I equip the Blackblade Reforge on my Beetle for free, and then activate the Withering Wisps once, clearing Fitz's spirits. I cast Orzhov's Signet and a Bloodforged Battle Axe. I draw a card and then cast Ram Senior Edificer from the top of my deck. I put more equipments on the Pure Steel.
Yeah.
Very suited. Well, I guess he has both hands, the boots and the cloak, so it's not even like impossible.
This is what's it called? Flesh and blood, man. You got your whole
Yeah.
You just need a hat. You just need the hat.
I then go to combat, attacking Fitz with the Pure Steel Paladin. On damage, I create an Axe token and get to draw on ETB. In second main, I cast Archaeo's Mancer's Map for 3 life. I move the Bloodforge up to Stram and pass. Scoop's Ascension is now active. On upkeep, he gains 2 life. He lands up at plains and I get a map trigger putting a Snow-Covered Swamp into play. He casts Song of the Dryad on Kykar.
Alright, I've gotten this happen to me before and it was infuriating, so now you can... I'm gonna put this on Kykar. Song of the Dryads on Kykar.
He is a tree.
Scoop then casts his commander, Go-Shintai of Life Origin. On ETB, he gets a 1/1 Shrine token. It might look like a Caterpie, but trust me, it's a shrine. He then casts Defense of the Heart.
I just realized Shadow Spear grants lifelink. Do you mind if I gain the 5?
Yeah, you would have gained 5.
So 17.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Gotta get him, kill him.
I was like, I really need to find lifelink. Wait.
Fitz lands just an exotic Orchard. He casts Sky Sovereign Consul Flagship, dealing 3 to the Sanctum Weaver on ETB. He then casts Crush Contraband, exiling Son of the Dryad and my Swiftfoot Boots. Heading into combat, Kykar attacks me.
An all-star pod here today. Cool people. Pretending to be spellcasters.
Wololo, wololo.
Jiro lands up a swamp. He then casts an Echo of Aeons. Reacting to the spell, Fitz casts Path to Exile on my Paladin. While we draw 7, Fitz draws 14. On my turn, I land up a snow-covered swamp with the Citadel. I then cast Soul Ring, before casting my commander, Shadrix Silverquill. I cast Dark Ritual, using the 3 mana to equip the Haunted Cloak and the Spear to Shadrix. At the beginning of combat, I give +1/+1 counters to Jiro while I draw a card. The Blight Beetle prevents the +1/+1 counters. Shadrix then attacks Fitz, who crews and blocks with the Sky Sovereign. Reacting to blocks, I cast Iliad's Intervention again, to destroy the blocker and the defense of the heart. Fitz then takes 6. Scoop gains 6 life at the upkeep, and land drops a Serra's Centum. He casts Yidris, Harvest's Hand. He casts Arcane Signet before making 2 Angels with the Ascension. Fitz land drops a Deserted Beach.
You can just pass and not play him, so you don't got to worry about embarrassing yourself.
Don't have to worry about how I sequence my cards. That's right. A good idea.
Just skip it all together.
He recasts Fiery Emancipation. All the vehicles get screwed, and he casts Akroma's Will. With creatures dealing up to 60 damage, he takes the win. Well played. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Check out all our guests on their respective socials, be sure to subscribe for more, and we'll see you very soon.